What's up, everyone? Welcome back. What? You know what? Let's keep going. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. First of all, I want to say a big thank you. I've noticed a recent large number of subscribers that just came here. So first of all, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that little intro video that I made for you for those that have been unsubscribed, but I also added for those that did subscribe to it because I'll be honest, I thought it was a little bit funny. So today's subject is the danger of Japanese knife collections. And I'm sure you think you know what this video about, but you're gonna be wrong. And also, to be clear, it's not just Japanese knives. I do own some non-Japanese knives, but mainly most of you, I'm sure, are here for the Japanese knife collection. So what's the danger of Japanese knife collection? You're probably thinking, well, you know, Frankie, we've seen your Instagram, we've seen your Facebook, we've seen your Twitter, we've seen your YouTube. You got a problem. There's a lot of knives. You got 3 Gyutos, 2 Sentokus, 3 Petties. I think I'm totaling a little bit over 20, and I keep saying I'm getting to the end. I don't want to grow the collection indefinitely. So if that's what you think the danger is, it's not that you're wrong, but that's not what this video is about. Sure, I have a lot of Japanese knives and non-Japanese knives in the kitchen. But you know what? That's a pretty healthy habit to have. I mean, I could be spending money, I don't know, clubbing. Not my thing, but I have friends that used to club and they were dropping $100, $200, $300 a night. A night. Okay, fine, Frankie, you have a knife that's $600. Okay, that's 2 weeks worth of clubbing. Instead, what I have is I get a lifetime's worth of fun. I get inspired to want to be in the kitchen and make homemade food. We probably eat out once or twice a month, which I actually think is a lot, because that means it's once or twice a month I don't get to be in the kitchen using these awesome kitchen knives. But that being said, it's still a pretty healthy habit. So is that the danger that I'm talking about? It's linked to that, but it's not exactly about how many knives you have. It's more about what it means to be a collector. Now, this is something I denied for a really long time. Adam from Knifeware kept saying, buddy, you're a knife collector. I was like, no way, man. Like, collectors buy knives, they take them, they put them in nice little glass cases, and they don't touch them again. I use all my knives. And that was my personal reasoning for why I thought I wasn't a collector. I can't remember after what knife I purchased. I feel like it was the Sajibanka, or maybe even the River Jump Sentoku, which cost over $1,000 Canadian. I was like, man, I think I'm a collector. So is that the problem? Is the problem about being a collector? Nope, not really. The problem is about using your knives, making sure that when you purchase a knife, for me personally, that it doesn't just become unutilized. And so for that reason, I don't have a single knife of mine that's in my drawers, that's in a box doing nothing. They're all on some type of storage device, whether it's a knife block, a knife rack, you have a gorgeous knife wall behind you, but they're all there. They're all on display and they'll all get used at some point. But recently, something happened. And I didn't think it would be a problem. And again, you're probably thinking, Frankie, where are you going with this? Like, clearly we know you have a problem with the number of Japanese kitchen knives and non-Japanese kitchen knives that you own. So what's this video really about? This video is actually about data storage and the dangers of data storage when you're working close to magnets. Now, all of you know that you don't put a metal object next to a magnet, especially not one that's meant to be operational. Screw and magnet, sure, that's fine. But what about a hard drive? Have you ever tried to work on a backup of your pictures, on a backup of your videos, and decide that you were going to put a hard drive on a magnet by complete accident, or maybe out of curiosity to see what happens? Well, that's what happened when I got a spare knife bar. This was sent to me by Japana. I absolutely love it. Walnut, it has a copper steel bracket that's currently up on the wall, but I put this up on the wall a few days ago. For months, because I wasn't sure if we were going to stay in this townhouse or not, it actually just, for some reason, I decided to hang out with it by my desk upstairs. And also on my desk is my computer. Now, one person can think, you know, maybe the problem is I said I'd never do videography. Because the way the accident happened is I had this knife bar right by my computer. Okay, this gorgeous knife bar. Have a look. I think it's 18 inches, walnut. And I did the thing that I kept saying for years I would never do, and that is create videos. I always said I will never create videos. It takes way too much space. And you know what? I was absolutely right. It takes so much space. I can't even work on my personal laptop computer anymore because it's just too data consumptive. And so I work on an external drive. This one right here. Or I should say, I don't know if there's a word that would say it's now dead. But essentially what happened is I was working on a video for you, the viewers. So thanks for being here. Because here's what happened. I decided to export and go for lunch. And it was feeling a little bit hot, right? All you video creators out there know that when you're exporting video, the computer just ramps up into overdrive. The GPU is going crazy. It's consuming all your RAM for some reason. And I thought, well, the drive's getting hot and it's on the desk. Let me elevate it for a second. Let me elevate the drive for a second. Okay, so I put this drive onto this magnetic piece of wood, and I walked away for 40 minutes. I came back and I took a look at the progress. I was like, okay, fine, maybe I have a 2016 computer, maybe I don't have all the RAM that's necessary to create a video, but goddamn, 40 minutes and this 10-minute video isn't exported? I take a look to see, is the drive okay? And I notice it hanging out on that knife bar. And I think, ooh, I don't want to get demonetized, but you know the words that were coming out of my mind. My mouth as well, not just my mind. And so I remove it, and I'm like, nah, there's no way, right? I mean, like, it's encapsulated in rubber. There's no way that I just created a problem. Something that everyone knows, don't take a metal device that's meant to be operational and stick it on a magnet. But that's exactly what happened. And you know what the worst part is? Mainly out of curiosity, and I did this though after I realized there was a problem, but I'm like, is this really going to be attracted to this magnetic bar? And so I tried it, and I felt the pull, and again, the words that I was thinking out came out of my mouth. So what did I do? I did what any good person would do. Panic the heck out. This is a $200 hard drive. And the money's not important. Sure, $200 is quite a bit of money for a hard drive. But there were pictures and videos on this hard drive as far back as 2016. Now, I don't think I have the best regimen or routine when it comes to exporting all my data, backing them up on hard drives routinely. And so I went and I plugged in another hard drive. I was like, okay, I'm missing quite a bit of data. This YouTube thing for me is new, so I don't really have the videos anywhere else because all the other hard drives, in terms of space, were taken up. And so again, I did what any good person would do. I panicked, and I started trying to open files and transfer. And the hard drive would freeze my computer. And it would freeze it again, and I'd restart my computer. I couldn't move folders, so instead what I did is I started looking at each individual file to see if it was corrupt. How did I know if it was corrupt? If it was corrupt, everything would crash. And so I guess long story short is I took about 2 to 3 days going file by file, file by file. I managed to go from 800 gigabytes of data, which were becoming more and more corrupt every time the hard drive failed. And the hard drive failed because I, myself, as a non-professional, tried to recover it manually by hand over 2 days. But I went from about 800 gigabytes of stored data. I was able to save 550, 600 gigabytes. What did I do after? I looked up a data recovery service, and I sent this in and just got this back a few days ago. I got most of my data back. Out of 220 gigabytes, I lost about 22 gigabytes, but it cost me $1,200. Now, clearly I authorized it, right? I wanted to get my data back. That's how much it means to me. I mean, the food pictures, knife pictures, you know, sure, I can create those again. I'm gonna make more pasta dishes, more pizza. I still got the same knives. I got the equipment, but it was really the videos that were bugging me. Like, videos almost feel to me more unique, more in the moment than a picture that I can recreate if it involves knife or food. And so I paid the premium price of $1,200 so that I can get my data back. And now what I'm left with instead is, I don't want to say the world, but just for fun, let's say the world's heaviest paperweight, right? $200 hard drive plus $1,200 worth of data recovery, and I got most of my data back, but now this is a dead weight. This bar is now up, and so the lesson is, don't put your knife bars next to your hard drives, right? So what's the danger of Japanese knife collecting? It's to make sure that when you get something, you use it. Don't just put it by your computer, because now this is a paperweight. And you know what I'm going to do on camera for you? What I'm going to do is, there's no way in hell that I am getting rid of this hard drive. This means too much to me. There's too many lessons learned. And so instead, what I thought I'd do, which could be fun, is I'm going to keep this hard drive. And you know what? I'm going to use it exactly as I said. I'm going to use it as a paperweight. But to remember that it's broken, and I don't think I'll have any issues remembering, but just in case, to remember that it's broken. Right here I have two ports, right? I got my Thunderbolt, and I have my USB-C, no, my USB 3.0. Now, I have access to this because of the cord and the rubber. But what happens when you take a little bit of Gorilla Glue and you apply it to the hard drive? Oh, that's looking nice. I don't know if you can see that, but this ain't no joke. I'm doing this right here on camera. There you go. That should be enough. We're going to close that up nice. And now, probably a few minutes from now, it's literally turned into a paperweight. I'm not sure what papers this is going to be holding down. I don't even have papers. Everything is digital. But what this has shown me is also the value of cloud data storages, the value of routine data backups. I'm about to put in my calendar that monthly, whatever is on the new hard drive now, which I purchased. SSD, by the way. You know the fun thing about SSDs? There's no moving parts inside. And so even if I were to somehow recreate this again because I'm dumb and I just didn't learn from my mistakes, it would never stick to a knife bar. So there you have it. You probably thought you were coming here for a lesson on me telling you, don't buy all these Japanese kitchen knives that I own. I'm not saying you should. Honestly, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of maintenance. And, you know, people might envy me because of how many knives I have. I envy the people that show me pictures that they say, my kit, and I see 6 knives. They're all different shapes and lengths. And I'm like, that makes sense. What I have, let's be honest, you're coming here to see them in action, but it doesn't make sense, right? So I'm not condoning it, but I'm also not promoting it. Most importantly, again, if you have spare knife bars, if you have spare knives, put them in their boxes. Don't put your hard drives on them. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're not disappointed that you thought maybe I was going to try to tell you don't buy Japanese kitchen knives. Hey, if it keeps you in the kitchen making homemade food, and that's good for the body and soul, keep on doing it. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you know when the next video is coming up. Thanks again for your support, and see you next time. Alright, me again. I'm back really quickly. I know I just said the video was over, but the important lesson here I was trying to articulate, and I think I might have talked about just about everything but that lesson, is the danger of Japanese knife collecting is you end up with too much equipment sometimes. So much equipment that you get a knife bar, and most people would say, I know where this is going. In my case, I had no idea where it was going. I already have 4 knife bars up, 1 knife block, 1 knife rack. And so this just stayed idle by my desk because I literally had no place to put it. That is the danger of Japanese knife collecting.